Did you know there's a passage in the Bible where demonic creatures rise from the abyss to torment the living? Few speak of it, but when the fifth angel sounds the trumpet, the world will never be the same. And the fifth angel sounded the trumpet, and to him was given the key to the bottomless pit. Imagine waking up in a world that no longer recognizes the light. There is no sun. The sky is covered by a thick, dense smoke, as if the earth itself was suffocating. People run aimlessly through the streets. Something has been released, something that should not exist on this side of reality. The apocalypse had begun, not as many expected, but just as it was written. When the fifth angel sounded his trumpet, a star fell from heaven. But it was no ordinary star. It was a being, a dark messenger, and to him was given the key that opens the bottomless pit, a place so dreadful that even demons do not dare to enter it without permission. And when the seal was broken, the world changed forever. From that deep and forgotten chasm arose a dark cloud, darker than any night, a smoke that covered the sky and poisoned the air as if the planet itself were being corrupted from within. But it wasn't just smoke. They were coming. Ancient creatures, trapped in the depths of the abyss since the dawn of time. Beings that were never human, with the appearance of locusts, but with human faces, lions' teeth, women's hair, and wings that roared like war tanks on the move. They did not come to devour, but to torment. They sought one thing, those who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. For 5 months, they would not kill, but they would wound, a pain so intense that men would long for death, and death would flee from them. Have you heard of this? Probably not. Few speak of what's written in Revelation 9. Few want to face the reality of what's to come. But if you've made it this far, maybe you sense that something is not right with the world. Maybe the abyss is already opening. And this is only the first trumpet of chaos. Because when the abyss opened, the silence was shattered. The earth didn't just tremble, it groaned, and what came out of it were not insects. They didn't rise like ordinary bugs. They burst from the abyss like soldiers from a forgotten war, tearing through the skies with blade-like wings and the sound of a metallic march. The air vibrated with a hum that seemed to come from every direction, an invisible roar that pierced eardrums and silenced prayers. The first to see them were those outside, running aimlessly among buildings shrouded in smoke. They froze, not in surprise, but in sheer terror. They came in swarms, organized like trained armies. They had the form of locusts, but their shells gleamed like armor forged in the fires of hell. Their heads bore human expressions with fixed, empty eyes, as if they had already gazed into judgment itself. Their teeth were like the fangs of starving lions, and their long hair whipped in the wind as if mocking humanity's last fragments of sanity. But the most terrifying thing wasn't their appearance. It was what they could do. They didn't destroy crops. They didn't attack animals. They hunted people. But not all. Something stopped them. An invisible boundary, a mark they seemed to recognize. The sealed. Those with a faint glow on their foreheads, a divine signature that made them untouchable. But the others had nowhere to run. Men screamed, women hid in ruins, children cried without understanding why the sky seemed to be screaming. And when the locusts found a target, the torment began. It wasn't death, it was worse. The pain came in waves. A sting like that of a scorpion pierced both flesh and soul, unleashing an agony that made hearts race to the brink of bursting. Minds lost their grip. Time froze. With every second, the desire to die grew stronger, but death fled. And they returned. They always returned. For 5 months, there would be no rest. For 5 months, Those without the seal would be hunted night and day. The world became a prison without walls, watched by demonic eyes. The question was no longer, how do I escape? It became, why wasn't I sealed? Because there, beneath the darkened sky, a new truth took hold. Either you belong to God, or you will be hunted by those who belong to the abyss. And when the torment finally ceased, when the sound of those demonic wings vanished into the air, many looked to the sky, searching for a sign of peace. But they didn't understand what it truly was. Not relief, but an intermission. The sky returned to silence, but a thick, oppressive silence, a dark sigh before the scream, 5 months. That was the time given to those demonic beings to tear humanity apart from within, and then, in the very moment the world believed it had survived, they were wrong. The sky returned to silence, but a thick, oppressive silence, a dark sigh before the scream, and then the 6th trumpet sounded. The world trembled. It wasn't the sound of thunder or an army. It was the sound of justice in fury. From the heavenly altar a voice echoed, "Release the 4 angels who are bound at the great river Euphrates."